30 years have passed since the events of the first part of the movie, during which time the goth girl Lydia has managed to grow up, get married, give birth to her daughter Astrid and separate from her husband. With Astrid she has a strained relationship, because the girl believes that all the stories of her mother, that she supposedly sees ghosts, is just a trick to make money on her TV show. At this point, news arrive that Astrid's grandfather, Charles, has died. For his funeral the whole family comes together again in the house where Lydia grew up. The naughty demon Beetlejuice still lives in the attic of the house, but now he has problems of his own. He is wanted in the afterlife by a soul-sucking demoness. Although Beetlejuice was not the first directorial work of Tim Burton, and before that movie he already made quite a successful comedy Pee-wee's Big Adventure, it was the Beetlejuice that manifested Tim Burton, who eventually the world has fallen in love with, bizarrely surreal, phantasmagoric gothic, witty absurd. The film became an important stepping stone in the acting careers of Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder, and although in the theatrical box office the movie collected quite a modest $75 million, Beetlejuice found true recognition on video, becoming a mandatory part of many home video collections. Talks about a sequel began immediately after the release of the original movie, but first these plans had to be postponed because of Batman Returns. Then there was some confusion with the rights to the franchise, and by the end of the 90s it became obvious that Winona Ryder is no longer at the age to play a teenage girl. It was very important for Burton to reunite with the same cast, so the sequel had to be forgotten about for a while. The project got alive again in the 10s, and the fact that Beetlejuice 2 was extremely close to realization is evidenced by the fact that Ryder, accepting a role in the series Stranger Things, specifically negotiated that she will get a break to go on the set of Beetlejuice 2 when the project will come to fruition. However, it wasn't until the early 20s, when Brad Pitt and his Plan B production company got behind it, that the sequel went into the works. The script, which had been tried on by half of Hollywood over the years, was eventually written by the first film's writers Michael McDowell and Larry Wilson, with Ryder, Keaton, and Catherine O'Hara as Lydia's eccentric mother returning to their roles. Even her husband, played in the original by Jeffrey Jones, is in place, but since this actor has been blackballed for sexual harassment allegations, in the film his character travels to the afterlife without his upper body, which was bitten off by a shark. Here we should immediately stipulate that if you don't think this is funny, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is hardly a movie for you. The movie doesn't have a strong central story, it's more of a kaleidoscope of mini-movies featuring both familiar beloved characters and newcomers, the delightfully narcissistic Lydia's producer, the lethal dead bride played by Monica Bellucci, or an afterlife cop who was an actor in his lifetime. In these vignettes, Burton focuses on black humor, the surreal and the grotesque, which are emphasized as much as possible visually. For example, there is a scene in which the Monica Bellucci heroine literally knits herself together from pieces with a stapler. And it's hard to forget a memorable auntie with cats in the reception area of the afterlife, which before her death have eaten her. Can Beetlejuice Beetlejuice be put on the same board as its great predecessor? The box office receipts of $450 million seem to say yes, and when you watch the movie, it's hard not to fall for its charm. Keaton tries hard, Bellucci's deadly beauty is breathtaking, and the relationship between Lydia and Astrid, played by new star Jenny Ortega, feels like some kind of truthful nerve. You can shy away from your parents and not understand them as much as you want, but you still don't and won't have anyone closer to you. But the signs of overripe sequel in the movie are never far away. You can see that Beetlejuice Beetlejuice was made not by a young and hot visionary, striving to show the world everything he is capable of, to share with it a part of his spark, but by a seasoned veteran, who desperately and a little bit tediously tries to prove that he is still in the ranks and can surprise.